afternoon, East Coast, good morning, West Coast, and good whatever it is, wherever you are, everywhere in between and outside. I hope everybody's having a great Sunday. It's Ian the Off-Kilter Crafter once again for some more FPP sewing. As many of you know, I've been working on a project for a little while and I am needing to do a lot of FPP for it because there's a lot of parts that I'm putting into it. But anyways, I'll be working some more on a smaller tree. Last weekend, we did a bigger tree. Today we're going to be doing an itty bitty smaller tree, so it won't take very long. There's supposedly a big sports ball event happening going on this weekend, so I figured I'd make my life probably a little shorter today, so that way I would not be trampling over another sporting event or whatever. What is it? The Super Bowl? It doesn't look like a very big bowl to me, but no, I'm just kidding. I know that many of you will probably be watching that, so I figured I would come on and do a shorter project today, and that way you can go to your Super Bowl parties or hang out or not watch at all. Like me, I'm not going to be watching. We got Pat here. Hello, Ian. That's a great pattern. Love the arrangement of various size blocks. Could see using the blocks in other quilts. E.g. evergreens in a Christmas quilt or pillow. Absolutely, Pat. I love this pattern a lot. It is a great pattern. It is from Night Quilter, and I put a link to it down in the description of this video. So if you look down in the bottom of this video, I'm going to take another sip of coffee real quick. If you look down in the description of this video, there are actually two links. One of them goes to the Night Quilter's website, and then the other one goes to her pattern shop where you can actually shop for the pattern. Tiffany was here. She says, "Hi Ian, putting you on the TV while I nap. I just thought you should know that. Talk to you later, my friend. Hello and goodbye to everyone." Tiffany, I hope you're having very relaxing... Should I do like ASMR? Tiffany, I hope you're having very relaxing dreams right now. You know, it's funny because ASMR videos come across my TikTok feed all the time. I don't get them. I don't get ASMR videos. They don't work for me. They make my brain hurt. I don't like them. As soon as they scroll onto one on my FYP, I'm usually like, get away, get away, get away. But anyways. We got Becca in the house. Hello. She is working on, or she's watching today while she's getting caught up on projects. By the way, I've got a new setup. I decided to mirror my iPad onto my TV, so it actually kind of looks somewhat like I'm looking at y'all. Anyways, Debbie here. Debbie is here. One Love is here. Awkward Quilter is here. Mama Harden is here. Barbakeen is here. Donna Dixon is here. Pat Strawhouse is here. Paula Hoopengainer. I hope I said that right. April Story is here. Hello, April. Welcome. And Nancy Gus is here. She's attempting to clean her sewing room today. Good luck with that. That's quite the undertaking I need to do. I'm very glad you have a very limited view of this room because I need to do some of that. So, updates. I don't know what I'm going to be doing next weekend. I will probably have some kind of live video going on next weekend, but I have no idea what I want to do. So stay tuned, make sure to subscribe and turn on those notifications so that we get notified every time I post a new video or go live. So I don't know, Melania's here, excuse me. Melanie, God, I'm so bad at names. So Terry is here. Hello, So Terry. Millennia. Yeah, I think I said that right. Oh, I'm so bad. Shelly says ASMR would be fine if it wasn't just a room full of. If it would be fine if it was just a room full of sewing machines. Would sound like a retreat. I get that. I absolutely get that. Kathy says, "Hey Ian and Becca, making continuous bias tape here." Ooh, that sounds fun. Last night I sat here and worked on. I worked on one of the trees last night. One of the taller trees. And I sat here. I'd been wanting to watch Tron Legacy for a while. That movie kind of comes up every now and again for me. I will crave is not the right word, but I will really want to watch that movie. And so I put it on the TV last night and watched it. I felt bad for my neighbors because the bass in that movie is like super loud. But thankfully it was before quiet hours, so it wasn't a big deal. And I made sure as soon as quiet hours hit that I always try to be very respectful to my neighbors. And as soon as quiet hours hit, I turn everything down. So Katrina is here. Hello. Ask Tiffany how to say it. I will. I will ask her how to say it when I speak to her next. Tucker is here. Hello. Tucker says, are you coming to the FPP dark side? Not exactly. I've done FPP for a while. I just have decided to torture myself and put a whole bunch of FPP projects into one quilt. Monday. Make sure to check out the Cotton Cuts blog. I talked about my FPP journey while in quarantine, having COVID. No, I have not had COVID 3 times. I talk about having it the second time and being in quarantine, working on that. I realized that blog post is coming out like a month after it was written. So when I wrote it, I said I had COVID. People may think I've had it 3 times. No. It was while I had that bout of COVID. And then, what else is going on? I was going to talk about something else. What was I going to talk about? I don't know. I've gotten distracted. Donna Dixon is waiting on my Village Green Puzzle Mystery Quilt in the colorway Peony. Excellent. Katrina is starting an easy ribbon quilt for my daughter-in-law's grandmother. Oh, that's so nice. FPP, I know, Becca's FPP project is going to be so good looking. I cannot wait. I actually got the pattern thanks to Becca. She sent me a copy of the pattern, not a photocopy, but like an actual, she bought a pattern for me. I always tell people don't photocopy patterns. Oh, what happened? We have the Gentleman Crafter. Hello, he just subscribed. And I'm losing his name. I'm friends with him on Facebook, and I am getting his name at this moment. I'm so sorry. But he just subscribed. Hello, welcome. He may be on one of my other videos. He may not be here in the live. We don't know. That's the fun part about these notifications is we never know if they're actually here in the live or if they're watching another one of my videos. Anyways, Katrina, once with COVID is enough. I know. I don't ever want to do it again. I've done it twice. No more. No more. This is one of those lives that the brain just goes in like a million different directions, and I'm like, Anyways, what was I going to talk about? Quilt show. That's what I was going to talk about. There's a quilt show coming up here in Dallas, Texas, coming up in March, and my quilt, the one you see behind me, is going to be a part of that one. Huzzah! That's exciting. I can't wait to put this into another show and see what happens. I'm also going to try and put it into the Texas State Fair. So cross your fingers that the Texas State Fair accepts it. And wouldn't it be awesome if I could get a blue ribbon from that? That would be freaking sweet. I also put another quilt into the show in March. And it is the 4-letter word banana. You know, the Gwen Stefani song, the is bananas. Words are hard. Judy says you can call that COVID brain. Maybe, except I had this long before I had COVID, so I don't know if I can blame it on that. But anyways, that banana quilt will be entered into the show as well. I was not expecting it to get accepted because it is a 4-letter word, not censored. So I was kind of surprised when they said it was going to get accepted, but it did. And here we are. So it's going to go into the show, and it's going to be interesting. Samantha says, hi, Ian. First time catching you live from Aberdeen? Did I say that right? Aberdeen, Scotland. Well, hello. I would give you a Scottish accent, but I can't do it. The best I can do, and you're going to laugh at me, is evening, governor. There you go. That's as good as it gets. But I'm glad you're here, Samantha. Right? Oh, so Terry, that's so good. B-A-N-A-N-A, yay! I like that. That's good. Can you do this? B-A-N-A-N-A-S. There you go. Quiltessa says, hi, Ian. There are people walking. I have my blinds open, and people are walking by, And I'm sure they're like, what is he doing? What is he doing? What is happening? I don't know. Quiltessa says hello, hello. Mama Harden says, thank you for being kind to your neighbors. My neighbors had booming music going all night long. I didn't sleep well. I felt the vibrations all night. Yeah, no, I don't do that. Quiet hours hit and I turn as quiet as I can. I do not, no. So if anyone's going to the show in March in Dallas, Texas, let me know. I'm going to be there one of the days. I think I'll be there on Saturday, checking everything out, and cross your fingers that I want this quilt to get another ribbon. I would love it if the banana quilt got a ribbon, but I would really love it if this one got another blue ribbon. That would be freaking amazing. Just saying. Just saying. All right, so I've talked far too long. We are already, 11 minutes in, and I've just been chatting this whole time, so I should actually, do some sewing, because that's what you came here to see, right? Right? All right, so let's turn on the, there we go. I know. Samantha, I know. She said, that's not a Scottish, that's an English accent. I know. That was the joke. If you have to explain the joke, it doesn't work very well. All right, so I was like, what, is that a Cockney accent, I think? It's not the posh accent. Anyways, all right, so what are we doing? Well, again, I have this pattern from, I'm looking at all my cameras, woo! So this is the Night Quilters, I'm over here, hi. This is the Night Quilters pattern that she has for sale. You can purchase this pattern. And I am gonna be working on the short, spiky pine, but as you can see, there's also the delicious, I don't know. There's also another tree pattern on here. I cannot hold this right. So you can see there's another tree pattern on there. I won't be doing any of that for this quilt. I really want just the pine tree as, oh, my iPad went to sleep and so did my TV. Yeah, I'm gonna just be doing the pine trees because I want it to look like a forest, basically. Katrina says, we had company come through the fence in the backyard. You had people come into your backyard unannounced, uninvited? That's not cool. The gentleman crafter is here. Hello. I know. I do have that set so that you have to wait 5 minutes before you can say anything. I do apologize. I gotta keep those bots out of here. So hello, the gentleman crafter. Barbara says hello. Linda says hello. Now notice I'm using my not fabric scissors to cut this out because I don't want to use fabric scissors for this. Always want to use non-fabric scissors, which in a way it kind of makes me laugh because a lot of times I am trimming things up with my rotary blade, so I'll cut through the paper using my rotary blade, but it's fine. Again, if you want this pattern or want to, Donna says, you do you, love all the chatter. I'm glad because I like to chatter a lot. Pat Boo says, hi everyone, love the pine but have never attempted paper piecing. Well, have I got a video suggestion for you? If you look down in the description of this video, there is a tutorial by yours truly. I've put together a tutorial on how to do FPP and walks you through the steps of a very simple block. And then you can go check out Becca's video where she does a FPP video but using freezer paper, so you can kind of make up your mind which method you like better, whether you like regular FPP or if you like to do the freezer paper FPP. Yo, Patty G, what up? I don't know why do I turn into like New Jersey when Patty comes into the... Patty, where do you live? I don't even remember if you're anywhere close to that area or not. Oh, Yolanda is here and she said, I almost missed you. I'm glad you're here. And don't worry, I just started, so you're all good. Mama Harding is watching from Pilot Mountain, North Carolina. Welcome. Maybe might see you in 2024 when I go to QuiltCon, right? Are you going to be at QuiltCon in 2024? I hope so. By the way, I just bought this mug. I love it. Love this mug. Just bought it at the Disney store yesterday, Disney outlet. And I freaking love it. Thank you, Becca. Becca put into the chat for everyone the tutorial video that I did on how to do foundation paper piece. Gentleman Crafter says, I want to try this so bad. I've been watching tons of videos on YouTube. Maybe soon. You should. You would, shoot, with all the things that you do that I've seen you post on Facebook, you would be a natural at this. I think you should. All right, so I'm going to start off again. All of my tree trunks have this pinkish purple fabric, so that's what I'm starting with. I use this, so not only am I doing trees, I'm also doing stars, and I used some of this not only in the tree trunks, but also in the stars. Do you think that's okay? I don't know. I make up the rules on this one as I go. It doesn't really matter. But I was going to try and exclusively use this fabric just for the tree trunks. And then I was like, but it would look really pretty in this star. And so I used it. Did I do a bad thing? Did I do a bad thing? I don't think I did. I think it's fine. Quiltessa says, so that would make Becca's kind FPP then. You are so right. It would make it that. All right, so I'm just going to hold it up to the light, get a little glue put down here, so that way I can plop my fabric on. This is a water-soluble glue. You can also use Elmer's glue sticks. They are water-soluble. Okay, tip though. Here's a tip. If you use Elmer's glue, get the one that's white. Don't get the one that's purple that dries clear. Because I made that mistake once. It did not stain the fabric. It did fine. The problem was, you could see the purple because I was using white fabric. You could see the purple through the fabric. And I was like, okay, fine, no problem. I'll just wash it. So I literally took my fabric and I taped it up in the shower and took the shower hose and just did that with it. The water rehydrating the glue turned it all purple again. Because there was just like a little bit of purple and I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I did that and it lit up purple again. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I was able to finally wash it all out. It was fine. But for a moment there, I was like, seriously? Seriously? It's fine. It did turn out fine. My recipient, it was actually a swap quilt. My recipient loved it. No big deal. Yo, Patty G says, I'm nowhere near New Jersey, but you rock the yo. Yo. Yo, yo, yo. Yo, Patty G. Mama Harden says, I'm kind of new to this stuff and I've never been to a quilt show. Don't know if I can. Totally understand. You should check out QuiltCon 2024. It will be in Raleigh, North Carolina next year. Might be something you're interested in. Check it out and see if that might be something you want to join in. Nancy says, I think the stars would look great, or it would look good, great as a star. Thank you. I think Nellie is saying that she got the pin yesterday. That's awesome. I'm glad you did. She won a giveaway that I did, a live giveaway last week. Pat Boo says, Ian and Becca, thanks. I found the link and we'll try to watch after this video. Excellent. Yolanda says, oh my, I don't think I would use glue. As long as you're using water-soluble glue, it hasn't affected anything. What am I doing? I don't even know at this point. Like, I'm just sitting here looking at comments and not actually doing anything. Glue does not matter all that much. It's just usually like how much you use and if it has any coloring to it. So if you use just regular clear glue, I glue based all of my quilt binding on because it really helps to see and like get everything tacked down. So I will use it when I do that. I can use this scrap here. And so I'll use it whenever I'm doing that. And I have no problem with it. It's Elmer's glue. I literally use Elmer's glue, and it comes out, as soon as it gets washed, it comes out just fine. So, all right, finally going over to the sewing machine after what, like 30 minutes? Goodness me. I just like chatting with y'all. There's the Bernina burp. If you have a Bernina, you understand the Bernina burp. I never knew what that was called until I went to QuiltCon in last year, 2022. I'd never known that was called the Bernina burp, but it is. It's called the Bernina burp. Jody says, I've never been to a quilt show, but won't be able to say that next month I'm going to be at QuiltCon in Atlanta. Awesome. Congratulations. It's going to be a lot of fun. I did a blog post on going to quilt shows over on the Cotton Cuts website. Make sure to go check that out because I have some good recommendations for the first timers going to quilt shows after my experience going to quilt shows. It's overwhelming for sure. Katie says, when working with teeny pieces, it helps so much. It really does. It really, really does. The glue is so important for tiny piecing. Jackie says, I have glue basted my binding for a long time. First time I saw it was on Lisa Keppen's video, blog. Something. Yeah, it really does help. Glue basting is so helpful in my opinion. Okay, so I just did 2. Let's move on to 3. Move it on to here. Go. And I need a black, and it needs to be tiny. It does not have to be very big at all, because we're working on a very tiny tree today. We're working on a tiny tree. Oh my gosh. So my friend, I've known this friend over 10 years. I've known her a very long time. We talk on Snapchat a lot. She said that she was going to, where did she say she was going? I think, she was going to her grocery pickup. That's what she was doing. She was going to her grocery pickup. And it's such a beautiful day today. It's 63 outside currently. She rolled down her windows in her car. And as she was getting ready to back out of her spot, there were a couple of people that were around her car. And so she forgot she had her windows open. And she started singing, "Don't hit the people, that would be bad." Like, I don't know what song she was singing, but she was singing something, just like a tune. And then she realized that they could definitely hear what she was saying because her windows were open. That would be my luck. I would do something silly like that, and everybody would be able to hear me. By the way, I did drop my stitch length to 1.5. You want to do that whenever you're doing paper piecing, just to make sure that you don't accidentally tear out your fabric or stitches while you're tearing off the paper. Pat Boo says, Ian, I live in Northern California mountains and they are not that color. You are correct. But foxes are also not blue and green. So I'm kind of taking this into like kind of the motif that I'm going for, the aesthetic that I'm going for is a kind of electric, retro, 80s kind of techno vibe. That's what I'm kind of going with. If you look on my Instagram page, I have a picture of this. It's a sleeping fox. That one's from Third Story Studio, I think. That pattern that picture is posted back in 2021. I want to say 2021. It's kind of got this really kind of cool 80s techno vibe to it. And so I keep running with it. So that's why the colors are a little off, is because they are not, they're not typical. It's not a typical kind of scene. I'm wanting to make it a little different. Somebody was asking, Pat is asking, what kind of machine do I have? I have the Bernina B770 QE edition, Quilter's edition, in the Tula Pink variety, because I couldn't live without it. I went to QuiltCon in 2020 and saw it there, and I'd been lusting after the machine for a long time, ever since it was released, and decided that the price that they were wanting to sell it to me was beyond reasonable, and I ended up purchasing it right there at QuiltCon, and they shipped it to me, and it was wonderful. I freaking love this machine, and it was the best purchase I ever made. Whoops, too far. But it came with so many extras. I literally was on the sales floor, or on the show floor at QuiltCon that year, and they were, you know, they basically were like, okay, here's our final and best offer. If you can't accept this, like, we can't drop the price any lower. And so I was like, okay, let me think on it. And they're like, okay, but you have to come back and talk to me. If you want this price, you've got to come back to me specifically, and you have to do it before the show's over. I'm like, okay. So I literally went to go get lunch, and I called several of my friends, and I was like, talk me out of this. Talk me out of getting this machine. And they're like, dude, we can't. That's a hell of a deal. For all that you're getting, that's one hell of a deal. Nope, sorry, can't talk you out of this one. And I was like, dang it. And so I bought it. Definitely bought it. But I got the machine, I got the embroidery unit, I got the extras, the Tula Pink extras, I got the Tula Pink tools, I got the carrying cases, all of it. Got it all, and it was wonderful. I burped, excuse me. KD Crafts is here. Hello, Katie, welcome. I know, Gentleman Crafter, it was a good deal. It was a good deal. Like, could not pass it up. Okay, so we did 4, now we need to move on to 5. I was like, seriously, they were selling it for what they were selling the machines in the classrooms, which those are discounted because people use them literally for a couple of days. If you ever want to get a very like expensive machine, go to a quilt show, and a lot of times the sewing machines in the quilt classrooms, they discount those, and they've literally only been used in that class. So check it out. It's usually a pretty good deal. Yes, Taylor, it was a great deal. It really, really was. Like, not even joking in the slightest. It was an amazing deal. And I feel very fortunate because it's my favorite machine. I prefer Bernina machines. I have sewn on I've originally started sewing on a Singer. It was my mom's Singer machine, and it was a lower quality machine. It wasn't like horrible. It was your run-of-the-mill mass-produced machines. And I'm not saying that Bernina is not mass-produced, because they are, but I'm saying like the Bernina has been, it's the Cadillac. For me, it's the Cadillac of sewing machines, in my opinion. Pat Boo says you can't say no to a bargain. At least I can't. I'm glad I did not say no to this bargain, because it has been great for me. Yolanda says long arm 2. I'm guessing Yolanda has a long arm that's also Bernina. I love the Bernina long arm as well. My quilting friend, she has the, what is it, the B24, C24, D24? Double D24? No, she has the Bernina's long arm, and it also is amazing, and I love using it. Yolanda asks, can anyone come to quilt shows? As long as they are open to the public, where you can purchase public tickets, yes. Absolutely. I know a lot of regional shows are absolutely open to the public. The only ones that are not would be more of the trade shows. So like the one that Quilt Market in Houston, there is some public aspects of it, but there's also some private aspects of it. So Shelly says, I got my long arm at a show, March 2020, with a similar deal, practically paid for me to buy it. Very much so. Very much so. Does it do nest thread nest at the beginning? My Juki sucks about that. No, it does not. There are a couple of times when my fabric will sometimes get sucked down into where the bobbin area is, but I use my single stitch plate 90% of the time, unless I need to do some other like needlework that moves the needle back and forth. Otherwise, I use the single stitch plate. It does fine. So no, I don't have very many nesting issues. It happens every now and again, but for the most part, no. Oh, Yolanda's looking for a long arm. Gotcha. Pat Boo is Patty. All right, I'm gonna try and commit that to memory. I suck at it though, so I'm gonna try. Pat Boo is Patty. Patty. I like Pat Boo though. Pat Boo. I don't know. All right, so that was 5. Let's go to 6. I'm losing track of what I'm doing. So I'm gonna go to 6. Go here. Now, not only did Becca send me the pattern for the pattern that she's working on, she also sent me another one of these add a quarter rulers, but she sent the one that has the edge on it that you can fold over. I'm not using that one for this pattern though, because it's like a 12-inch ruler, and that would be really cumbersome and big for this one. So I'm using my regular smaller one, because that's all I really need today, is just a smaller one. And do you see that I've kept a lot of my scraps because I knew, oh darn, I could have used that one there, because I knew I would be doing this today. So I'm just using my scraps because I can, because I need to use them, because I want to use them. Judy says, I got my long arm at a quilt show in 2020 as well. Amazing price, and they came and set it up for me. That's awesome. Quilt shows are really a great place to get machines, I tell you. They a lot of times they are going to make you some deals that they would not normally do just walking into a quilt shop or sewing machine shop or machine shop. Becca says, add a quarter plus. Yes, add a quarter plus. She sent that ruler to me and I have it. I just didn't want to use it for this one because that would be way overkill for today's project. Jackie says, I learned to sew on my mom's 1949-ish Singer, her wedding gift. Wow. Went back to Singer a few years ago after Brother and Kenmore. And also have a Janome. Excellent. Pat Boo, Patty, says, sorry, I'm a chatty sorry, I'm a chatty Patty. It's all good. Chatty Batty. Oh goodness, sorry about that. I still have Sylvia. Sylvia's sitting just behind the camera there. I need to pull her out and do some more sewing with her. Just haven't decided what I want to do yet. I'm going to be house sitting again in a couple of months, I think. So you will probably see me live from my friend's house again when that happens. And I will definitely be sewing on her, since I don't want to bring my big machine with me because this machine lives on this table basically. If I'm going to a workshop or something, I will take her with me. Do people travel with these on planes? Because when I was going up to visit Becca, I was like, oh, I'd love to bring my machine, but man, that'd be like, I wasn't going to do it. But like, do people bring machines like this big honkin' machine? I know you can bring the Singer, the featherweight, onto an airplane. That's easy. That definitely fits underneath the seat. But like, how do people get these big machines on airplanes? That's what I want to know. These are the thoughts that happen in my head. We're going to 7 now. Because, you know, my brain thinks about very random things all the time. That's my brain. Is anybody going to any Super Bowl parties, or are y'all not into that? I am not into the Super Bowl in any way, shape, or form, so I'm going to be like, whatever. That's what it's going to be for me. Let's see that. Yep, I had plenty of room there. We got 57 viewers here. Thank you guys so much for being here today. And if you're on the replay, thank you so much for taking the time to watch the replay. You can always join in live by clicking the bell notification icon, of course subscribing first, and then clicking the bell notification icon, and that will send you a notification. YouTube hopefully will send you a notification letting you know that I am live on YouTube. And it seems like I'm starting to go live mostly on Sundays. Like that seems to be the day that I go live now, which I kind of feel like fits better, and I'm getting more viewers. I'm getting y'all here more, which I love. Also, don't forget to like this video as well. That does help YouTube identify that not only do you like my video, and then it will hopefully serve it up to other people who might like my videos as well. And gets my channel out there a little further into the YouTube verse, if you will. It also hopefully will help me reach 100,000 subscribers, because I would love to hit 100,000 subscribers. I would absolutely love that. So then it is a very lofty goal, but both Becca and I would love to hit 100,000 subscribers someday and be able to get that YouTube plaque. I think I would just die. I would be so incredibly happy. So it does help whenever y'all do that. Like, subscribe, share, talk about, comment, all that kind of stuff. It helps our channels whenever you do that, because YouTube likes to see engagement. And so every time you engage with your favorite creator, it helps their channel grow, basically. So, you know, take the time to comment on that video. I'm not just saying on my video, like I'm talking about any of your favorite YouTubers' videos. Take the time to comment on their video and let them know, you know, that you're liking their content or whatever. Let them know that you liked that video, or, you know, however you connect to that video. Let them know in the comments, because creators love that. I know I do. I love getting your comments. Awkward Quilter says, is the Puppy Bowl on today? Yes, it will be. I don't know what channel, though. I hadn't thought about that. Oh my gosh, Shelly. I love your comment. Shelly says, can you claim your machine as medical equipment, like for therapy, just thinking outside the box? I actually have a small machine that I brought on travel before. Shelly, I like the way you think. I like the way you think a lot. Oh, goodness. That's... Judy is not going to be watching the Super Bowl. I'll be picking up my granddaughter from work so her mom can go to one. That's excellent. That's very kind of you. Patty is getting pizza now and then a nap before the Super Bowl. Go Chiefs. Go team. And Jackie says, I like Sundays better too. Less chance of having grandkids. Totally understand. I'm thinking Sundays are going to be my days now. That's what I'm thinking. We will see. But it seems to be a good fit for me because most of the time Sundays are kind of slower days for me. I think Sundays make the most sense. At least in my opinion, they make the most sense. I'm actually going to go hang out with a friend later today. Her husband is going to a game or to a party, but she is not much of a football fan, and so she will not be going. And so she's like, come hang out. Husband will be gone, so we'll hang out. I was like, okay, sounds good. All right, so next we're doing number 9. There's there. Thinking something like that, maybe. Becca says, I love Sundays for you. Monday nights are pretty heavily saturated already. I agree, Becca. I'm thinking Sundays are the day. And I realized, like, after I had scheduled this, that it was Super Bowl weekend. And I was like, oh no, nobody's going to be there. But look at that. We've got 61 people in here right now. So, well, it turns out it was a good day after all. Awkward Quilter says, I can watch lives on Sunday. Absolutely. So Becca activated the 8-ball. If you would like to activate the 8-ball, just use the exclamation point 8-ball and then ask your question. So Becca says, 8-ball, is the friend Ian hanging out with me? 8-ball replied, I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I do have commands in use here in the chat. You can type exclamation help, and that will give you a list of commands for you to use. Yolanda asks Ian, or it says, Ian, the card you are using to bend your paper over, is it a special or just plain cardboard? It is just regular old cardstock. It is approximately, this feels to be like 60 or 80, I think. It's not 100. I used to make cards. That's how I can kind of judge the pound of how heavy a cardstock is. By the way, cardstock is measured in pounds. So 100-pound cardstock is really, really stiff. 60, 80 is still kind of flexible and movable like this. So this is about 60 to 80. Judy says, I watch Becca on Friday nights, Tiffany's on Sunday nights, Sunday afternoon with you is perfect. I'm so glad. Excellent. Sunday lives are good for me too, and I'm sewing. Excellent, D. Adams. What are you sewing today? I forget. Did you say already? I don't remember. I don't think you said what you were working on yet. Pat says, every time you say do, I expect So Becca's to Blue's Clues. True. Y'all should hang out online during the Super Bowl. I'll have to remember that for next year. Maybe I should do like the, Becca, maybe next year we should do like a Super Bowl sewing time slot. Do like, who sewed it better? I don't know. Nancy, whenever she is doing paper piecing, she uses the cards that come in her Cotton Cuts clues. Blue skidoo, we can do. Did you know on YouTube, if you sing something, if I were to sing a song like I did earlier today, like this is bananas, B-A-N-A-N-A-S, that is not a content ID strike for you. If I played that song, if I was to play that music, it would be a content ID strike. Interesting, right? It's interesting how that works. I'm gonna do this one, I think. I'm looking, I want to include, because as you can see, my fabric has some lines and stuff in it, and I want to make sure that I'm including some of that in my actual piece, because I don't want just the green. I want some of those shapes and stuff to be there. Hello, Carrie, welcome. Just gonna use my x-ray vision. I think this is, oops, don't catch my needle. I think, ooh, don't go through the paper either. Goodness gracious. D. Adams is making a picnic quilt using the welcome block out of Farm Girl Vintage book. Excellent. Using 30s reproduction fabrics. Excellent. I shouldn't try and sew and read comments at the same time. It's not a good idea. It gets me into more trouble. Pretty sure the TV won't be on at our house today. I can't recall the last time we turned it on. Goodness. I don't remember the last time I watched. Oh no, that's not true. I know the last time I watched the Super Bowl was when Lady Gaga was the halftime show. That's when. That is when. Oh, you're right, Becca. It is not a content ID strike. It would be a restriction. You are correct. I'm sorry. It would be a restriction. I would miss the entire game if I was on here chatting. I feel ya. I feel ya. Can't wait to try paper piecing. Looks fun. It is a lot of fun. I enjoy it. It does kind of scramble your brain a little bit and becomes a little sometimes hard to keep everything straight. But once you kind of get into a rhythm with it, it's not too hard. Let's see, that was, nope. I need to go to 11 first. I was trying to skip 11 and go to 12, but I need to do 11 first. Kind of helps to go in order, huh? Do I need to go back to elementary school and learn my numbers again? I may have to do that. Watching and listening. Jackie is watching and listening while I sort my clip art for my Cricut. Excellent. I have a Cricut as well. So does Becca. What is this one? This is a black. I need black fabric. Or is the company fun? Or is the fun in the company? It is all of the above. All of the above, to be honest. In my opinion. Love the mug. Time to refill. I know. I drank all my coffee. I need to get some more. Have you ever picked up your coffee mug or whatever you're drinking from? It's and not realized it's empty and go to take a sip and you're like, oh, it's all gone. I do that a little too frequently. I work from home, and so I'll make coffee for myself in the morning. And I usually only drink 1 cup in the morning, or usually 1 cup all day. And there have been several times when I went to, I'm working on a project, I pick up my coffee mug, go to take a sip, and there's nothing in there. And it's like, oh, it's always the sad part of the day. So Terry says, I am paper piecing a small FPP heart today. First time making this one. Here it goes. Excellent. You'll have to post it on social media for us to see, because I think you are going to do wonderfully and knock it out of the park. Oh, well, this is maybe not so good. So it looks like when I sewed this one down, this one was, do you see how it's there's extra fabric there? I didn't pull it over enough when I was sewing. So maybe I can fix that, but how would I fix it without tearing it all to pieces? I would have to undo part of it. I think I can. We're going to do some troubleshooting. If I do wonderfully, I will post it. I know you're going to do it wonderfully. When you get to my age, you drink coffee all day, says Yolanda. I would be bouncing off the walls if I did that. It would not be a good thing. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit of trying to repair my boo-boo. And I think I can. I just have to be a little careful. I think it's going to be okay. Okay, so I've ripped it. What's happened, I know this is not a great angle. What I've done is I've ripped my seam back enough that I can push this one down. So I'm putting it where it should be. Oh, I know, there's been so many dead limbs and stuff. Y'all got it worse than we did. And I saw that you didn't, I mean, you were in the hotel for how many days? You were in the hotel for quite a few days. Oh, Debbie says just use Scotch tape and put it back together. You can sew through the Scotch tape. I do that a lot. Kathy is using scraps to make bookmarks from Sil Becca's video tutorial. Excellent. Okay, so I was able to get that in the right place now. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try and sew this. It's gonna be a little weird. I think it'll be okay. I'm actually going to pop a couple of stitches out of the paper. I apologize. I'm really focused on this. I want to make sure to try and get it as best as I can. So I'm taking my focus away from comments for just a moment. And I am holding my tongue in just the right place. I think it's going to be okay. I think I'm going to do it. It's the only thing about FPP is when you get into a tricky spot, it can be hard to recover from it sometimes. But if you just kind of look at it a little bit and check it, and I think it's going to be okay. Let's see. So a week, goodness gracious, in the hotel. Gentleman Crafter was in the hotel for a week. Goodness. Okay. All right. So Gentleman Crafter asks, I didn't see what was wrong. What was happening was this piece of black fabric right here it had scooted over when I sewed this line. And so what ended up happening is it had a bubble of fat. It was full. It had fullness to it. It wasn't folded back all the way. So I had to rip it out, and I was able to fix it. And it looks like everything's okay. I think I did just enough that it's going to be just fine. And it doesn't look like, because the other problem, if I caught that before I put this fabric on, I could have just ripped this whole thing out and tried it again. But because I had already put this one on, it was locked, this piece of fabric was locked in. So I would have to rip this one and then rip this one. So I took the lazy way out, and it looks just fine. It looks like it did just fine. So I am happy with that. And I don't have to worry about that. So I'm gonna cut my threads. Did everybody understand? Did I do that? D. Adams is also in Austin. So many trees down, we called it Arborgeddon. Goodness. Yeah, there weren't as many trees here, thankfully. We did not get the ice as bad as y'all did down there. It wasn't horrible up here. It actually, I did pretty well. I was very glad that I did a grocery order. They actually came on Monday, which is when all of it started. They actually came on Monday and brought me my grocery order, which I was very surprised about, but I did just fine. Okay, that was 11. Let's go to 12. And here I was thinking this would be a shorter live today. Ha! Little did I know I would screw things up and need to fix them. There we go. All right, so I need another piece of black fabric, and we will put that right there. Scotch tape does, and as Debbie said earlier, Scotch tape does work. You can sew straight through Scotch tape. When I do the bigger trees, I need to use Scotch tape because the trees are so big they don't fit onto a single sheet of letter paper, and so I have to use Scotch tape to put them together. And you can sew through it, no problem. It does not affect your product at all. Your needle doesn't get gunky, nothing happens. Nothing happens. Let's make sure that doesn't go to sleep. Got a little bubble there, but I think it's going to be okay because I think this part actually gets sewn over, so I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. I'm going to go ahead and trim off my excess here. There we go. All right, so that was 12. Let's go to 13. Nancy uses washi tape. That is also a great solution. Washi tape would work well for this as well. So much fabric waste. I'm gonna hold on to that. I might be able to use it. I need green. Can I use this one? That might be cutting it close. I can use this one for sure. This one will work. D. Adams, do you know the general? Do y'all know each other? Seems like D. Adams, you might know each other in person. Am I wrong? I don't know. I use washi tape. Also, it doesn't gum up the needle. Absolutely. Yep. Washi tape also works. And sir, you have plenty of washi tape in your studio. I know that for sure. Ah, gotcha. There we go. Hold on to that scrap. I also am holding on to this scrap because it's got Juicy Juice's logo on it. So I've been holding on to that one, maybe throw it into the design somewhere. All right, so there's that. We're gonna move on to the next one, which is 14. I'd really like to get one of my pattern pieces on here. So I'm gonna look at my scraps and see if I can throw one of the pattern ones on this time. And if I can't, I may just find a spot. Oh. The Awkward Quilter says that someone on Instagram said that they save every scrap and thread that they use to stuff pillows. I'm trying it so I'll not feel guilty about wasting. That's an interesting idea. I hadn't thought about that. So I'm actually gonna, like, you can see I have a good fair amount above where I need, but I really want to get this pattern on there. So I think I'm gonna sew it here and go from there. Lori asks, when paper piecing, is the sewing stitches bigger? They're actually smaller. So you're actually decreasing the size of your stitch length to around 1.5. That's what I use whenever I'm sewing paper piecing. You drop the stitch length because that perforates the paper more and allows it to perforate and tear more easily when you're tearing the paper off. It also gives you stitches that are stronger, so that way when you pull the paper off, it doesn't end up causing a big problem. I didn't get it quite exactly right, but it's close. It is close. Shelly says, I use medical paper tape, ended up with a bunch when my mom was in the hospital a lot. They would use one piece off the roll and then toss the rest of the roll. I would ask for it. What? They would toss the rest of the roll? That's crazy. Talk about some waste there. All right, so got my piece like that. Yolanda says, I just don't know if all that fabric would be comfortable. I think maybe for like dog beds and stuff, that would be fine. I know I would not sleep on it. It would not be comfortable for my sleep, that's for sure. All right, we're gonna do 15 now, and I'm actually going to trim. I'm gonna eyeball this. I'm gonna trim off. Yeah, that'll be plenty. 14, we go to 15. There we go. 15, all right. We're gonna put our piece right there. Do a trim and trim. Trimmy trim trim. And this is a black. I need a black. I just don't think we're going to get very many patterns on this one, which is okay. It's a smaller tree anyway, so it doesn't matter all that much. But I was hoping to get a little more on it, and I think I can when I get to the very top. I think I can center one right on the top of this tree, and that'll be fine. Shelly says they throw a lot out when it has been opened in the patient's room. They can't take it to another patient's room, or so they say. I guess that's why medical bills are so freaking expensive, because they're literally tearing off one piece of tape and then throwing it away. Gotta love the US health system. Hospitals can't take the tape from patient to patient. Usually each patient has a roll. It's crazy. Judy says, that's right, we can't, or we're not supposed to. I mean, it makes sense, I get it, but goodness. It's not that bad if you quilt the pillow. I did that a bunch with scrap batting, just cut it into small squares and used it as stuffing. Interesting. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Like, you don't want to cross-contaminate and, you know, take tape from one patient's room to another. That makes sense, but like tearing off one piece of tape, like leave it in the room with the person, right? Like that's, to me, that is more logical rather than tearing off one piece and then throwing the rest in the trash. I'm gonna hold on to that one. I might use it still. with all the hospitals Mom visited in the last couple of years, we had an amazing amount of first aid supplies. I can't imagine. I remember Dad and all the stuff that he had, and I was like, wow, this is kind of a lot. Which way do I think I want to do it this way. So you mix the fabric with the batting. I gotcha. That makes sense. I still don't know if I would find it all that comfortable. I use a like a Tempur-Pedic pillow. I have a Tempur-Pedic bed and a Tempur-Pedic pillow, and I like how. It's funny because like when I first got the pillow, I swear you could like hit a burglar with it and knock him out. It would be that intense, but I need a good supporting pillow. Judy says, I work in the ER and we use it once and done. Wow. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. It blows my mind. It really does. I mean, again, it makes sense. I understand why it needs to be done that way, but goodness, what a waste. I guess that's why it's like, what, $50 for Tylenol or whatever? I have a story about, I don't want to tell it on here, but man, I have a story about recovering and being, yeah. Maybe I will tell that story someday. It was an interesting one for sure. Goodness gracious. Tear off a piece in the hallway and only bring in that piece so the patient can't, oh, yeah. Katrina says, one ribbon done, woo! So Terry says, when I was in the hospital, they charged my insurance $5 for the Band-Aid they used to cover my injection site with. We're not even going to get started today on yeah. It's so disheartening. It really, really is. It's so incredibly disheartening, our medical system here in the United States. I will just put it there, and we're just going to leave it there for today. It's a mess. It is a mess. I think I'm going to cut it right about there. All right, cut that off. It would just be decorative, yeah. I could see doing a decorative pillow that way. I'm going to trim off this out here because we don't need this weird little tail. So I'm going to trim some of that. Judy says, I do that with my Coban. I don't take that into the room. What is Coban? Coban? Coban. Please educate the uneducated as to what that is, because I'm curious. I have an insatiable appetite for knowledge. Like, I need to know all the things. That's why I feel like I did such a good job working at the Science Museum, is I was always wanting to learn more. And then my excitement would transfer over to the people that I was telling the information to, and yeah. Oops. Oh my gosh, I gotta catch up on chat. Barbara says, Mom had a lot of skin tears and her home nurse would ask me what I needed in my stockpile for her skin tears and then would actually bring packs of it. Wow. Yo Petty G says, on a happier note, if you go to the ER and get stitches because you cut your finger off with your rotary, you get to keep the... Patty. Do I need to do a video on rotary cutter safety? Please don't cut off your finger using a rotary cutter. Goodness gracious. Oh, guys, got it. I was wondering about that. Jackie says, I still have a bag of medical supplies that were given to my mom as we were sent home. They sent a huge amount of that. That was open for her. Each nurse would leave a new roll in her room. Goodness. Wendy said 3 weeks ago I needed to see 3 different doctors before I was diagnosed correctly with shingles. Not looking forward to seeing those bills. You are not kidding at all. Got it. Jackie says, Coban, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but Coban is the stretchy gauze that they use over blood draws. I had to have that. I had a blood draw on Friday, and so I had to have that on. Hey, Ian from Super Bowl City, working on my first queen-size quilt. Hello, John. Welcome. Are you ready for the, John, are you ready for the tourists to go home, or are you happy that they're there? It sticks to itself, but not to the patient. That way the skin abrasion when they remove it in, yep, Patty, we're gonna have to do, I'm gonna have to do a rotary safety video for you. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I do know somebody who got scared. Like somebody came up behind her while she was using her rotary cutter, and she did accidentally nick the end of her finger with it. So it does happen. Please be careful out there, ladies and gentlemen. With those rotary cutters, they are dangerous. Maybe you get to keep the thread that they use to stitch you up. Mama Harden says, when I go to have blood drawn, I ask for the rubber strips that is used on my arm to take. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Because they do throw that away. I remember, like, when I got my blood drawn, they throw that into the waste bin. Interesting idea. Look at y'all being reduce, reuse, recycle people. Hello, welcome. Shirley here from Canada. Hello, Shirley. Welcome to the live. We've just been discussing all kinds of medical things today. Did not mean for that to happen, but you know, that's the way things go sometimes. I'm getting to the top of the tree, and what I'm doing is I'm looking for a piece that I feel would be a good one. Uh-oh, I'm getting a text message. Sorry, everyone. Oh, I'll look at that later. I thought it was... My friend was at the mall, and I thought that they were needing my thoughts on something that they were... But I think they're back home again. Judy says, our suture kits have been thrown away after each patient. We have a few that aren't, and I will take them out of the room. Interesting. Jackie says, the Phoenix airport has been crazy. SB, Super Bowl, PGA, and Dave Matthews Band concert all this weekend. Goodness gracious. When I passed through, I went to QuiltCon in Phoenix, and I of course landed at the Phoenix airport. The Phoenix airport is kind of weird to me because it's like 4 terminals in like a square. And I kid you not, I literally did an entire loop of the square. That didn't make sense. A loop is not a square. But I did a whole path around the square, which I thought was very interesting. It's a very interesting airport, in my opinion. Yolanda says, I have sewn my finger down with the machine right through the nail and had to get my husband to pull it out. Oh my God. This is why I'm not a doctor or a nurse or anything in the medical professional field, because that's gross. It happens, but it's gross. I get the heebie-jeebies. I can't do it. I can't do it. Can't do it. All right, so that's not exactly right. I need it more over here, I think. So what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to target one of the shapes because I really want to get one of the shapes on the very top of my tree. So I'm kind of trying to use like my X-ray vision to do that. We'll see if it actually turns out right. Yo, Patty G says, I've learned my lesson. Do not use my rotary cutter after nighttime meds. That is a very good plan. That I very much agree with that. Goodness gracious. I will say something about another comment on the, sorry, I looked back to Yolanda's comment. Joanne asks, is that called fussy piecing? Kind of, a little bit. It is a little bit. I'm trying to just, get the piece that I feel will look the best there. I don't know. It's not, it basically is fussy cutting is really what it is. So fussy piecing would make sense. Yeah, it kind of is that. Yeah, kind of is. Phoenix Airport. The one thing that I really like about the Phoenix Airport is that y'all have the trains that go from the cell phone parking lot to the actual terminal. That was so incredibly handy. I took an Uber from my hotel to the airport, but I had them drop me off in the cell phone lot so I could take that trolley, that train, that tram, whatever you want to call it. So incredibly helpful. That was a really good decision, and I'm glad I did that. All right, I'm going to trim this up a little bit, so I'm actually going to, I'm skipping a number for half a second because I just want to cut, this is a big piece and I really want to get it trimmed away. So I'm cutting it a little bit extra just to make sure that I have enough when I'm actually doing it, I'm cutting it a little bigger, basically, is what I'm trying to say. All right, so I'm going to go over here to 19. Shelly says, I was always Dr. Mom at our house, removing splinters and dealing with cuts, scrapes, and wounds. Hubs couldn't deal with that. Nope. No, my quilter actually told me a story. She did the same thing that Yolanda did. She went right through her finger. And then she was teaching a kid and it went through their finger. And she said that she kept a pair of pliers nearby to pull it. So gross. I can't. Can't do it. I can hardly pull splinters out of my own skin. Ooh. Maybe I can find a handsome doctor and marry him and have him do all that for me. All right, we're gonna move on. We're gonna grab the next piece of material. This is black, and I wouldn't mind marrying a rich, handsome doctor. That would be awesome. I'm just saying. All right. Oh boy. All right, so I'm on my penultimate piece. There's your vocabulary word of the day, penultimate. Ooh, I need to go back. I hadn't finished today's Wordle. How far did I get on today's Wordle? I forgot. No, this is where I am so far. Oops, let's go this one. That's as far as I've gotten. Trying to figure out what this word is, but I'll get it. I'll figure it out. I'll get there. Me and my friend Tisha, we do Wordle, and we'll send the results to each other. She got it in 4, and I'm at 2. And I was doing this earlier this morning, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to stop. I'm going to wait until I'm a little more awake before I make my next guess. Because I try to beat her. She's really good. Most of the time she beats me, but you would have to listen to all of his. Yolanda, you're not wrong. That's a very good point. I was in the operating room and. Yep, can't do it. What's interesting though, this is so dumb, so dumb. I can watch, and I do watch, ear cleaning videos, like the videos of them going into the ear, but I can't do the waxy ones. I can do like the skin peeling, the dry skin peeling ones. Not the wax. I can't do the wax ones, but the skin peeling, I'm like, yes, oh my gosh. Probably because I need to have that done to my ears, and I really kind of want that done to my ears and have, oh my gosh, I bet it feels so good. Oh. Shelly said she got it in 4, she got the Wordle in 4 today. Awesome. Let's see. Oh. No, that's right. Okay, all right. I was about to make a mistake. I'm glad I stopped myself and paid attention. So I'm gonna just take this and I'm gonna trim, because we don't need all of this, so I'm gonna trim all that. D. Adams said, I wouldn't mind finding a rich doctor who would lovingly support my quilting hobby and travel dreams. Abso-freaking-lutely. Maybe I'd be willing to listen to his stories if he did that. All right, moving on. We're gonna move on to our next piece. This is our last piece. This is piece 20. Look at that, and it's, what are we, an hour and 20. This took me almost as long today to do the small one as it took last week to do the big one. It's all fine, it's fine, it's fine. Jackie says, two of my daughter's 3 girls can't stand blood. The middle one, 10, loves to help bandage up. Oh, goodness. It is turning out to be a pretty tree, Patty. I'm loving it. It's looking really nice. Judy says, I don't do ears. I had a oh, Judy. Had a patient with a cockroach once and can't handle that. I could tell you some stories. I'm sure you could. Oh, that's one of my phobias. Cockroaches, can't do them. Ugh, so gross. Ugh. Cockroaches and medical. There we go. That's it right there. So Terry says, Ian, you can always pretend to listen. Oh, that's true. Get some of those like hearing aid sized headphones and put those in and be like, oh, while I'm listening to something completely different. I listened to Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me this week. Does anybody else listen to that show? We talked about this last week. I had at the time of my live stream last week, I hadn't listened to that show. I did listen to it later that weekend. But does anybody else? What happened here? Oh, well, that's not good. Well, we're gonna have to rip that and try that again. Yeah, we're gonna have to rip that and try that again. We just thought we were done. Nope. So Terry, my son-in-law is always getting major injuries and refuses to go to the ER, so my daughter has learned many medical procedures that would fix his wounds at home. Oh my gosh. Goodness gracious. So before I rip this out, I'll show you. Do you see how that end piece right there is folded back? It must have gotten folded in a weird way when I was putting it through the machine. So I am gonna rip this out. Yeah, it needs to be ripped out. So I'm gonna rip it out and try it again. Because it is wrong. Wrong, wrong, wrong. But that's okay. We'll get it fixed. I just thought I was done. I'm in danger. And what makes it difficult is because I've decreased my stitch length, it makes it harder to actually get to those stitches. So I'm going to concentrate for just a moment. Forgive me. There we go. I'm not going to read the chat for a moment, so please forgive me while I do a couple of ripping. Got to get Jack back out and do all of this. Patty says, I was an ER nurse and have some stories too. Loved every minute of it. Not that cockroach, though. I do not blame you. So I used to work at a theme park here in Dallas-Fort Worth. Can you guess which theme park that was? And I was a Fright Fest character. And one of the things I had to do as this character was host the cockroach eating contest. In previous years, if they had eaten the cockroach, they would get a season's pass to the park. But this year, they lowered the value to just a fright pass, which would get you into all of the haunted houses in the park. So it went from being like $100+ value that you were getting for eating a cockroach down to like, I kid you not, like 20 bucks. It was so disgusting. I could not do it. These people, and people did it. And it was like, you've got to be kidding me. I would never, not even for a season pass. No way. No freaking way. Ugh. Gross. Gross, gross, gross. All right, so I'm actually gonna move down a little bit because I have my seam line, like you can see where I had, and you can't see it on the camera, but hello, Rochelle, welcome. I'm gonna move it down so that way I'm not catching that line back in there again. Nope, Barbara King says, no thank you, I don't eat bugs. I agree. I did eat a cricket chip though. It was a chip made out of, it was like a corn chip made out of grasshopper flour. Instead of regular flour, it was grasshopper flour. It wasn't bad. Couldn't tell the difference, to tell you the truth. Oh, we got some stuff going on. We're gonna show this comment, and we're going to show this comment. Yep. Yeah, it was pretty bad. Pretty bad. It's really kind of bad. Ooh, gross. I have to go, headed to my daughter's for the Super Bowl. Have fun, Yolanda. Thanks for joining. Joanne says, would you eat a cockroach for an unlimited amount of fabric for life? No. No, I would not. Would absolutely not. I don't care how much fabric it would get me. Would not do it. Ooh. Mary says, have you tried Quirtle? You solve 4 words at once. Okay, I am dyslexic. And it's hard enough for me to solve one let alone 4 at the same time. Have I tried it? Yes. I am not good at it. I prefer Wordle because I can focus in on one word and not have to worry about the others. Grasshoppers eat grass. Let's not even talk about what roaches eat. Yeah, no. Oh, you're fine. I totally knew what you were saying, Debbie. Being dyslexic, I can read those. I can read those things. All right, so here is what we got. As you can see, it needs to be trimmed. So that's what I'm gonna do now is trim it. Hi Ian, love Wordle, got it in 2 today. Oh, excellent. Want to give me a hint? No, just kidding. Don't give me a hint, it's fine. I try to be very honest. When I get down to the last guess, like if I have one remaining guess, that's when I go out. There's a website that's like Wordle Help, and I will use that website to try to figure out what the word is, but only if it's the last guess. That's when I do. Also, Lingo, hosted by RuPaul, excuse me, I was about to say RuPaul's Drag Race, hosted by RuPaul, is amazing, and I freaking love that show so much. RuPaul as host is so amazing. He's so great. So cool, looks amazing, thank you. It's turning out well. I thought this would go quicker than my tree from last week, but apparently between chatting and screwing up some stuff, it did not, but that's okay. I enjoy spending time with y'all, so I'm glad that you are all here hanging out with me. Scraps in there. Irish Sail Lady, hello. Just got back from Costco. Gonna make some crumb blocks while enjoying your show. Excellent. I thought you were about to say crumble cookies. I was like, yes, I can get behind that. I haven't had lunch yet, so I'm a little hungry. Oh my gosh, now that we've been talking about like ears and like my ear's so itchy, I want to take a Q-tip and go blah, 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 blah. So bad for your ears though, don't do it. Don't do it. So Terry says, now I feel the need to get a can of Raids to keep by the chat, just saying I'm bugging out. I know, it's like when you talk about something like Iggy and then you get, it's why my ears are like, all right, there we go. Let me zoom in. There we go, there's our tree. There is our tree. Look how cute it is. So it's a little bitty tree. It's got some of the shapes on it like I had hoped for. And I think it looks pretty cute. I'm just saying. What happens if I, let's see, can I do, oop, there we go. Oop, wrong way. I have to like look at the monitor so I can see which way to go. There we go. So there's our tree. Look how cute it is. And this one is, this is a, can't remember how big this is. This is a 6.5 by 4.5, I think. Yeah, 6.5 by 4.5 size tree. Here's a little glue stick next to it, or like, there's an iPhone. It's about the size of an iPhone. Love the colors, good job. The tree's cute. The tree turned out really nicely. Thank you guys. Yep, so there's the tree. Turned out very nice. I like it a lot. So I'm gonna add this to my collection of trees and stars and things. I still need to do, I have a couple more stars that I wanna make. And I need to lay out, I have my bin's over there, otherwise I would go grab it, but I have a whole bunch of stars and a whole bunch of trees, and I'm still kind of working on it. Patty says, are you gonna make a quilt? Yes, I'm currently working on making a quilt that is kind of made out of a whole bunch of paper pieced things. So I'm gonna take all of them together and turn them. Sorry, I think my neighbor's walking around and I just heard a very big boom, and it always makes me jump a little bit when I hear it. I'm gonna take everything and combine it and turn it into a quilt. In fact, do y'all want to see everything that I've made so far? I think we've got a little bit of time. Hold on 2 seconds, stay right there. I'm gonna get up and get the bin. I'll be right back. What is the black Tula? Yes, it is. No roaches. No roaches. No, Joanne, no. No roaches in this quilt. I will be right back. Hold on 2 seconds. I'm gonna grab my bin and show you all that I've worked on so far. Hold on 2 seconds. I'll be right back. See, I told you I'd be right back. Rochelle says, wonderful, I can't wait to see the finished product. I'll go back and watch this since I'm late, no big deal. All right, so here is my, look how big this stack is. I'm gonna move this out of the way, hold on. Oops. So, all right, so first we have our, we've got a moon. We've got a moon block. We've got star. And I actually did this in 3 colors. Notice this one, I messed up on this one. And do you notice how it's a little different? But I told myself that the blue star is twinkling. Because they're all a little different. So we've got 3 stars here and they're all a little different. And so I was like, well, the blue star is twinkling. That's what's happening. Yes, the black fabric is Tula, by the way. And then I have, see, this is the star that I did with the same purple fabric as the tree trunks, but it almost changes colors in this star. And so I'm very happy with how it turned out. I also incorrectly sewed this one. If you look at the back, you can actually see, like, look how big this seam allowance is, big seam allowance, and then this one's a lot skinnier. Because I accidentally sewed it wrong. So that's that. But I think it still looks pretty good. We've got this star. I love this one. It's very pretty. Very pretty star. We've got this one, and it's interesting because when you look at this one, this fabric right here is purple. If I was to hold this fabric out, okay, I'm just gonna put that fabric down. Well, on the camera it's reading blue, but in real life, this one is more of a purple color, but it really turns blue on this star. So it's kind of it's an accidental red, white, and blue. Is the center music fabric? No, it is not. It is, this is all of the non-black fabric is from Juicy Juice. It is from the declassified line. Irish Sail Lady, they all have their own personality. You are correct. These stars definitely have their own personality. Love this one. I'm really happy with the 2 different colors back here. I love how this came out. Rochelle says we're all a little different. True, 100% true. And there's this one. This one came out really well. Love it. I love this one too. I love all of them, but they're coming out so well. I love it. So I got that one. I've got, look at this little star in a big block. Little star in a big block. Got another little star in a big block. Got this honkin' thing. Got a big star there. And then we got the trees. We got lots and lots of trees. I think this is actually bigger than my camera can pick up. So here's my matching tree for today's little tree. So we got a matching one in a darker green. And on this one, I really wanted to make sure that there was some of those shapes going on it. So we got that, and it's just a whole bunch of trees. Whole bunch of trees. Louise says, there is something about about using black background instead of a lighter background. Everything just pops. It's so true. So got lots of trees. Shelly says that black Tula was a good choice. Thank you. I think so too. And then this is the block that kind of started it all. This is the block that really kind of inspired the idea. And I'm not ready to reveal the name of the quilt yet. When I finally put it together and get the glamour shots and all that kind of stuff, I will do a big reveal of what it looks like. But this is the block that kind of kicked everything off and got it all going. And I love a lot of my tree, like you'll notice the trees and stuff, they have patterns in them. So you have the pattern fabric in this, but the fox is not going to. The fox is going to be made out of, as you can see, it already is, but it's made out of solid fabric instead of the pattern fabric. So I don't know, it's turned into a really cool project, and I really, it looks like a fox. It is. I know, it's so crazy, right? Like a little sleeping fox. It's so cute. Sleepy, sleepy fox. Whenever I did this pattern, she included a coloring page, and so it was really great for me to be able to fill in the colors of this fox and kind of experiment, because these white spaces were originally black, and I knew if I used black fabric on a black background, they would not show. It would not show. And so I was like, okay, so I went with white instead of black. I went the exact opposite, and the white was perfect for it. Irish Sail Lady says, what size quilt are you going for? I don't know. I don't know what size quilt this is going to end up being. I'm still playing around with layout and stuff like that. Rochelle asks, wait, Rochelle or Rachel? I'm so sorry. I apologize. My brain is not kicking in today. Is it Rochelle or Rachel? Goodness gracious. Ian, I just can't remember anything. Oh, it makes me so mad at myself. Anyways, are you going to quilt it yourself? No, I'm going to give it to my quilter. And she's going to work on doing it for me. Because she's the one that helped me win the blue ribbon for this quilt. I got thread in my tongue. She's the one that helped me with this quilt, and I know her quilting is what helped it win the blue ribbon. So we really did partner 50-50 on it. So I'm getting her prepped. I've told her that this quilt will be coming at some point, and then I'm going to need her help for some more like show quality. It's going to be a show quilt. It's not going to be a quilt for the bed. It's going to be a show quilt or a hanging quilt. Because I want this to be on display. It's going to be a displaying quilt, if you will. So that is that. And I'm super excited. I really hope to get it. Oh, my iPad died. It didn't die, it just turned off. I'm really hoping to get that done sometime this year. Rochelle. There we go. Rochelle. Got it. Thank you, Rochelle. I apologize. I'm so sorry. So bad with names. So bad. Rochelle. All right, so that's that. Awkward Quilter says, I would love to hang this on the ceiling in my spare bedroom, grandbaby's bedroom. That would be cool. I'm hoping it's going to look really cool. I'm going very much with like 80s kind of like electronic kind of feel to it, and I'm loving it. Brenda says it's going to be so cute. How exciting. Don't worry about my name. Seriously. Thank you, Rochelle. I appreciate that. It is going to be exciting. I can't wait to get it done. It's going to be a little bit longer though, because I need to, I need to set up a time with my quilter because I really want her help. I need to fill in the gaps. Like these are going to be elements on it, but there are going to be gaps and spaces, and I need to learn how to kind of space things out and figure out how big of a piece of fabric I need and kind of how to build it, if you will. So that'll be something going on. Patty says, pizza's here. It's been fun. Thanks, Ian. You are very welcome. Have fun. Eat some pizza for me. Joanne says, I'm sure it will win. It is amazing already. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, everyone. All right. I think that's going to do it for today. Thank you guys so much for joining me and hanging out for literally just almost as long as we did last week. And I thought this would be shorter. Little did I know. Thank you guys for joining me today. Don't forget, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and then of course the bell notification and turn that on so that way you get updates every time I post a new video or go live. Also, do me a favor, hit thumbs up. That lets YouTube know that you liked my video, and then we'll hopefully share my video with other people who might like it as well. It helps it helps me become more seen here on YouTube and all that kind of stuff. So I would appreciate it if you give this video a thumbs up. Be on the lookout for another live probably next week. I have no idea what I'm going to do, but I'll figure something out. And of course, I hope you all have a wonderful and safe Super Bowl Sunday. Don't drink and drive, just saying. I hope everybody has a great day. Wait, what? Ian, check out Dave's Crafts Room Mustache Quilt for ideas of spacing. Ooh, I will check that out. Thank you. I hope everybody has a great week. We're kicking it off tomorrow with Monday, back to work, back to school, all that kind of stuff. But we're going to have a good week this week. And I hope to see y'all all very soon. Hope everybody has a great day. And remember, guys, normal is just a setting on the dryer. I'll see you all very soon.